Using parameters to control the appearance of some sort of visual output is an extremely common editing paradigm. These applications share a common parameterized design editing method. Parameters define a high-dimensional design space where every point in that space maps to a visual output. As with other types of design, creating a design in a parameterized space is an iterative process. As part of this process, many designs need to be created and evaluated. The Design Adjectives framework supports this workflow by providing an interactive, model-guided method of generating designs of interest. In this toy example, I am using our domain-agnostic Design Adjectives interface to create a yellow brick texture. I first assign high scores to yellow brick textures and low scores to any other color. I then sample from the newly defined yellow brick adjective, which returns a gallery of designs to browse through. I then assign scores to some of the returned designs to refine the design adjective, and repeat the sampling process. Note that the sliders can be used at any time, and the sliders update their highlighting when the adjective is updated. Let's take a look at the framework components that enable this type of interaction. The framework is built around a design adjective. A design adjective represents a design concept from user-scored input examples. It outputs a numeric score representing how well an arbitrary input matches the current adjective's design goal. Adjectives are trained and updated in real time. Navigating through the design space is done by sampling designs from the design adjective. Users can move through the space relative to the score of the current design by using simple operators, such as similarly scored designs. Designs returned by the sampler are arranged in a design gallery to let users browse through and score designs for adjective refinements. The components described so far have been working with an adjective that already exists. The newly creative adjective has no scored examples to sample from, so we need a way to generate initial samples. This is handled by a bootstrapper, which generates such designs. Access to the original parameter space is preserved, as designers often want to fine-tune aspects of their design. Per parameter selection tools, such as slider highlighting, can be added to aid this fine-tuning process. We present a domain-agnostic implementation of the Design Adjectives framework that uses Gaussian process regression to represent design adjectives, and a guided rejection sampler to generate designs from this adjective. Our implementation works with any bounded parameterized design domain. Please see the paper for full implementation details. We ran two sets of studies to evaluate the Design Adjectives framework. 2 case studies with professionals, and a user study where novice to intermediate designers performed simple design tasks. In the professional case studies, a graphic designer and a material designer used the tool for unstructured design tasks in their respective domains. Each designer spent 8 hours with the Design Adjectives interface. Some of the fonts created by the graphic designer are shown here. The professionals provided feedback through interviews. They found that the framework was extremely helpful for design concepting and felt that the system sufficiently captured the intent of their design concepts. Our broader user study gave non-professional designers a set of short design tasks. After each task, participants filled out a survey and interface log data was collected. Participants used both the Design Adjectives interface and a baseline per parameter controls only interface. From this study, we found that users preferred design adjectives for performing exploratory design, that adjectives were perceived to sufficiently represent design concepts, and that the Design Adjectives interface was more enjoyable to use for these types of tasks. Please see the paper for complete evaluation details. Thank you for watching. You can find the paper and our implementation of Design Adjectives at the listed URLs, and can contact me, Evan, at the email listed.